About 2 years ago, a client of mine came down on business and was staying at the Grand Hyatt Hotel over in Buckhead. He unfortunately got pulled over for making an illegal U-turn and was arrested, or actually did field sobriety test. According to the officer, failed the field sobriety test, was asked to take a state administered breath test, which he drove down to the city jail and blew a .12. We tried to get the case worked out to a reckless driving or some sort of non-DUI in municipal court. We were unable to do so. And my client came to me and said, look, Larry, my job is on the line. If I get convicted of a DUI, I'm not going to be able to travel to Canada. I'm not going to be in a position where I can rent cars, and my company's going to fire me. So I said, well, we're not going to plead guilty to the charge. The only option we have is to fight the case, because in the state court of Fulton County, the odds of having a charge reduced are extremely minimal. So we had no other option but to fight the case. When the case got set down for trial, my client came back down from Illinois, and we tried the case. And the officer, who was well known for making a lot of DUI arrests, had the entire case on video. And what happened was we picked a jury. And the way that works, they brought in 14 people. We eliminated a number of the people who were brought in, and we were left with 6 people. The first witness on the case was the state patrol officer. So he got up there and he testified. He told the story about why he pulled my client over. We showed the videotape, and I was able to cross-examine him. My client looked really good on tape. He did not look like a .12. He looked extremely good. Did very well on the field sobriety test. And after cross-examining the officer, I established that my client didn't fail the test, but actually did better on the test than the officer indicated. Then the officer had been promoted from being just a regular patrol officer, that now he's in charge of all the breath testing within Metro Atlanta. And he goes around and he calibrates and checks the different machines within the 4 metro counties. I think Atlanta, Gwinnett, Fulton. I can't remember the exact counties, but he checks all the machines. So he was very well qualified to try and talk about the ins and outs of breath testing. What we did was I cross-examined him and was able to put up an expert witness in the case and was able to get the .12 and the less safe charge, where the jury found him not guilty of all charges. It was a really hard-fought win. And the reason that I was able to do it is my client looked good on tape, he was polite, he was cooperative, and we were able to point out different problems with the breath testing in the state of Georgia that the jury agreed that there was a definite, that they couldn't prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. In a matter of 8 minutes, my client was acquitted of all charges. So it was a good victory. Most cases don't go to trial. The majority of cases, I think 98% of all criminal cases, are resolved short of a trial, because if all cases went to trial, the system would break down. There's simply not enough time to try every case. And in the great majority of cases, our firm is successful, and more often than not, in getting a case reduced to a non-DUI disposition, or achieving a result, whether it be at a trial, of having someone walk away without a DUI charge or a conviction on the record. Sometimes these cases do go to trial, and when you do have a trial, you need to be prepared for any sort of situation that can arise. That being said, the client that I just referred to earlier about how his case and his job was on the line, we spared no expense. We brought in an expert witness to testify about the problems involving breath testing. I brought out manuals to show the officer different things that he didn't do properly, and also cross-examined him with previous testimony that he'd given at administrative hearings. So our firm will exhaust every possible remedy to try and get the deal of getting your DUI dismissed, dropped, reduced. But if that's not possible, we have no fear and are as good as anybody that you will ever encounter about trying a DUI case.